Meet Khamzat Chimaev, the scariest fighter in UFC history. The Russian broke Robert Whittaker's jaw at UFC 308, continuing a searing run of form, but his career has been far from straightforward outside the cage. It was immediately clear that something had gone badly wrong for Robert Whittaker. Scarily wrong. Fighters do not tap quickly to face cranks, but Whittaker submitted within milliseconds of a forearm sliding across his jaw. Later, Khamzat Chimaev revealed he heard a click as soon as he applied the crank. Yet a click does not convey the gruesome reality of the injury inflicted. Soon, a photo circulated, showing the bloody cave of Whittaker's mouth. It looked like a mouth, anyway, it definitely contained teeth. But they were awash with crimson, and 3 in the bottom row were completely detached from their neighbors. These teeth were bent back at almost 90 degrees, facing the roof of the cavern. This was not a jaw-dropping performance from Chimaev, it was a jaw-shattering one. The Russian's career has been turbulent, with weight issues, sickness, and alleged travel limitations thwarting him from competing regularly. Yet when he does make it to the cage, these volatilities vanish, and Chimaev becomes a frightening, single-minded beast. So well-rounded and experienced is Whittaker, with such a gilded resume, that many voices in MMA predicted a win at UFC 308. Many predicted that the former middleweight champion would survive an inevitable, early onslaught, and rally for a crafty victory. But then came the onslaught. Chimaev immediately shot for a takedown, and the Reaper was the one stalked by some ominous force. Whittaker simply could not get Chimaev off him. Trapped against the fence, Whittaker was coerced into ceaseless thought and defensive movement. Block Chimaev's choking arm, wait, now it's the other arm, hang on, now he's striking, and repeat, but never in the same order. Eventually Whittaker was caught out. Chimaev sought the Australian's neck, but Whittaker tucked his chin, the right move, actually. Chimaev had to settle for a face crank, but with a grip so crushing that he immediately crumbled Whittaker's jaw. He crumbled his jaw. And so Chimaev moved to 14-0, 8 knockouts, 6 submissions, just 2 decisions. Next is surely a title shot, which has felt like the endpoint since day one, given Chimaev's UFC run started in unprecedented fashion. On July 15, 2020, the Russian submitted John Phillips in round 2. 10 days later, he knocked out Rhys McKee in round 1. 2 months later, Chimaev, switching between welterweight and middleweight, bludgeoned Gerald Meerschaert inside 17 seconds. It was the Wolf's scariest finish, until Saturday. But if Chimaev's momentum felt unsustainable, that's because it was he recorded an impressive win in his next fight, submitting Li Jingliang early, but that was 11 months after the Meerschaert KO. Then, in April 2022, he faced a leap in competition against ex-title challenger Gilbert Burns, who dropped Chimaev and only narrowly lost on points. 5 months later, the UFC tried to use Chimaev to put Nate Diaz out to pasture, amid a contract dispute with the legend. But Chimaev missed weight, and UFC 279 was thrown into disarray. Diaz went on to submit Tony Ferguson on short notice, while Chimaev submitted Kevin Holland.